Hello, magical ones. So I am here to chat about the 1212 portal and give you my personal heart transmission that's come through. I just had a period of time where I was furiously writing, and these thoughts and insights and downloads really need to be shared with the collective. So that's what I'm here doing. I did pull some cards also to kind of help amplify the message, but very much what came through today was just complete divine channeling. So this is about the 1212 portal, and this is also what's launching us into the new year, into 2020. So this is a lot about what are we really removing and clearing and letting go of, and then what exactly are we bringing with us. This is the reoccurring theme with the, with the full moon, and with just what's going to be happening for us collectively in 2020. So I'm going to start with what we are collectively releasing, old ideas, structures, and systems that are ready to be let go of, if we are so willing to release our tight grip, and then to also help others release their tight grip on things and ways of being that just don't work anymore. And as a whole, we are really shifting out of it, but there is a fair amount of resistance, mostly because the unknown and new can be very scary and frightening sometimes, especially for people that have been doing it a specific way for a long time, which could be you and me or generations older than us. The young ones are coming in and really sounding the alarm on a variety of things. So we really should be listening to them and not dismissing them. Children are born with innate wisdom that is unlearned and programmed out of them over time. And it's really important that we remember that about our younger generations instead of trying to dismiss or discredit them. So moving forward, what we are collectively releasing: the need to control and hold power over for a false energetic boost. We don't need to control in order to feel powerful anymore. This will start coming up as a little bit more fierce agitation might be coming up, because this is an old system that's calling up to be healed, released, and reprogrammed. This need for control to feel safe is something that I've been actively working on for a very long time, so I can deeply relate. It is false. It is not real. Having control over anything except for your own self is completely not possible. So it is a complete waste of energy to be trying to wield control over individuals around you or circumstances around you. It's just you could be returning that energy to yourself or giving that energy to people you love, rather than using it in vain. So anyway, I had to take some notes, so forgive me because I will be reading a little bit. The other thing that we are releasing is the materialistic goals that are not in alignment with Mother Earth Gaia's healing. This is not about being in lack. This is about understanding that excess is no longer going to work for us. And there are ways to live abundantly, but also more simply. We are all going to have to learn to live with less and want less, because we really don't need more. Most of us, those of us, that have our basic needs met, there's a lot that we have that we don't need, myself included. So This is a system. This is a programming of comfort. We've been given all these creature comforts that are lovely to have, and I'm not saying give them up. I'm saying it's time to acknowledge what we need more of, and it's not more material things. It's more connection. It's more community. It's more being seen out in the world, sharing ourselves. So, the next part is our addiction to conflict. This is going to take more than 2020 to dissolve, but we can start with ourselves and each other. The craving for conflict, or the need to kind of posture in a self-righteous way, which I've most definitely done, and definitely had fun doing it too. This is also an unnecessary use of energy. What we are being called to do in 2020 is take action, to be in service, to actually walk our walk and not just pontificate on social media platforms that are used to manipulate us anyway. That's the other thing that we're working on releasing too, is this sort of false connectivity that is used for great things. I have all the appreciation in the world for social media. However, it has turned into a place of falsehood, a place of conflict, a complete waste of energy, arguing for the sake of arguing, or to get a tiny little energetic boost from feeling right or feeling morally righteous. Another thing that I've definitely participated in. I am not guilt-free on this, and it's going to take work to get here. But the less we participate in that collectively, the more that system will die and either be completely removed or used for the greater good and the highest good of all. So the other thing we are called to do is to choose the world in which we want to live in, or we want to exist or bring into existence. We can live in chaos and terror and apocalypse. We can live in all of that. That's a choice we can make. Or we can actively work towards the world that we want and put our energy towards problem solving and creating the world that we want through community, co-creation, heart-centered work, through love. And I'm to the point where I don't give a fuck if I sound like a pink cloud, okay? This is real, and we need to really choose what kind of world we want to live in. Now, this is not about spiritually bypassing, and this is not about disregarding people's suffering and pain and real turmoil that's going on. This is about really stepping up and stepping forward into justice, solutions, and peaceful hearts. And we cannot create any solutions from a place of fear, lack, and doom porn, okay? This doom porn we're leaving behind too, okay? Time spent with our eyes on a mass media screen is time that we could be spent serving our families, serving our community, reaching out to people in need. We are wasting so much time. I have wasted so much time. And 2020 is where everything is coming so very clear. And we have to really choose which world we want to be participating in. Do we want to be participating in a world that is constantly bickering and fighting over semantics, or are we actually going to work together collectively to create real change and to really foster healing for the collective and for our Mother Earth that we are living on and actively murdering? So, So that is that. And let's see, moving on. What else? Oh, yes, I touched on this a little bit. This releasing of drama, the attachment to drama, the need for drama for excitement. there's lots that can be exciting, and we can find places of common ground that are not of complaints or conflict or suffering. We can learn to connect on our joys, on our blessings, and how we can spread those joys and blessings to the collective and to those around us. That's how I want to spend my energy. I've spent a lot of time in the last year disconnected from gratitude, and let me tell you, it did not bring me anything good. So anyway, so let's talk about some of the cards that I pulled for this little portion. All this talking makes my throat so dry. From the Work Your Light deck, Anna, grandmother of Jesus. So this is all about seeing the light, laying foundations, and a divine plan, okay? So this, Anna, grandmother of Jesus, is about Christ consciousness. This is about really understanding what it is to be of service, what it is to align ourselves with the highest good of ourselves and all around us, including Mother Earth. This is about really laying out a plan and being clear in what it is we desire and the world we desire to live in. And from the Serpent, or not Serpent Fire, She-Wolf Tarot, I pulled 8 of Wands. Okay, so this card actually has a lot to do with chaos and how things can feel really heavy and challenging and like dark night of the soul kind of feeling. And this is just calling on us. It's like these times will come. We are not completely out of the darkness yet, but we are called to very deliberately access our tools for healing, for grounding, for staying centered. Our tools like meditation, prayer, acts of service and kindness, being generous, acts of generosity and kindness uplift our vibration. They foster connection with ourselves and others. So this is just saying that, yeah, hey, you know what? We can talk about rainbows and pink clouds, but this shit is actually not easy. It's not easy to create this because there are a lot of systems in place and a lot of individuals that don't necessarily want this existence. So it's definitely something that we will have to be actively working towards in a completely heart-centered and trusting way, okay? So what are we calling in? What are we bringing in? What does this 1212 portal has opened up all these possibilities for how we can live together, how we can be and how we can grow, and like how we can even really work towards dismantling systems that keep people in poverty, systems that discredit the spiritual community, systems that are unequal in their distribution of wealth, systems that are patriarchal and are white supremacy maintenance. So this is all of this in 2020. We are really actively ready to start deconstructing, tearing apart, and rebuilding that new foundation that is the divine plan. Okay, so the card I pulled for moving forward is also from the Work Your Light deck. It's Trust Your Path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So this year, 2020, is abundance, clarity, trust, faith, passion, and divine action. So we are trusting ourselves. We are trusting that we are divinely guided. We are trusting that we are also supported on the earthly realm and all other realms of existence. We are trusting that there are teams of individuals and light beings here to support us, available beyond this dimension, if we are so willing to call upon and accept their assistance and guidance, okay? This is what we're calling in. And it's really important that we learn to access these individuals, communicate with these individuals, because they are extensions of ourselves, and they hold the answers and the action plans that we need to execute in order to really bring the world that we want into fruition, okay? So we are walking on our paths in trust and knowing the support is there. We are calling in energy and deep community with each other and nature. We are honoring and healing Mother Earth. We are engaging with our communities and trusting that small collective actions will ripple out positively to everything else collectively. Okay, I think a lot of what's been going on is, while it is necessary for capitalistic structures to be dismantled and to really create the massive change, and it's hard to really solve the larger planetary existential threats without these systems being dismantled and restructured in a more supportive way. However, this is some more of that kind of doom porn where it's like, okay, yes, also we do make an impact. This is not a time to be shut down thinking that anything that you do does not make an impact, okay? What's imperative for us to really thrive as a whole, as a human race, is knowing that what you do, the choices that you make, do have a profound impact. The kind things you do, the acts of service that you deliver, does have an impact, and it's important not to lose sight of that, and it's important not to get dragged into apathy and depression, or staring at a news screen or news feed for hours on end, just getting sucked into the hole that is really hard to climb out once you're in. Believe me, I know I was in it. I was in it. I was really far in it, and I have to actively work not to get sucked back into it again, okay? And I just want to say that this does not make me uninformed. This does not mean that I don't know what's going on or I'm not an engaged citizen. I'm a very engaged citizen, and I know you all are too. However, there's so much, when you know the truth of a situation, you know the truth of it. And I trust that I know the truth of this situation, and I trust that as a collective human race, if we work together, if we work on focusing on our communities and creating conscious divine change within ourselves, our families, and our communities, that is what we need to be focused on. Okay? So, and that is the most informed that we can really be. Let's see. We are bringing self-love, self-worth, self-appreciation. We know that how we show up for ourselves is how we show up for our community and for the people that we love and for the collective, okay? We are respecting energy exchange. We are understanding that our spiritual evolution is imperative in order to uplift Earth, okay? Our spiritual evolution and our collective healing and release of trauma is of the utmost importance. It is more important than anything else. It really is, because once that is all lined up and into play, everything else is supported, everything else is moving, and there is momentum and there is guidance, and you know it to be true, okay? So the next few cards are the Fool, which goes directly with trust your path. So we are really being called to act on faith, to to lean on our spiritual guidance systems, to trust signs, signals, and synchronicities that are showing up for us. We are being really called to stop allowing people that want to maintain a status quo from dismissing our divine gifts, our spiritual gifts. Everyone's got something to share, and it can look all different kinds of ways, okay? And more of this is waking up in people. It's been going on for quite some time, but I have noticed that it's been awakening in more people and more frequently, and this can be a little jarring. So just know that I'm here for your support if you need any help with that. And the collective message from the universe has your back deck is, when I lean toward love, I am led. Okay, these cards couldn't line up more from what came through today. Okay, we can really be intentional about what we want to let go of in the new decade, and there is just no more playing small. There is no more being wishy-washy about which direction you want to turn in this life, or which world do you want to create in this life. It's time to make a choice. So I am going to be opening up spaces for a select few spaces for weekly sessions with me. And this will be like a membership monthly fee. So if you are interested in working with me in a small group setting, I would love to chat with you about that. So please feel free to message me. You can find me on Instagram, Shiny Sparkly Witch. You can find me on Facebook, Karen Lee Cacciatore. I will leave all the information to contact me in the show notes. I am here to help you wake you up your gifts. I am here to help you release any trauma that is blocking you from your gifts as a spiritual light worker and healer. So I am here to help you. So please message me, see if you want to save your own spot to work with me in a small, intimate group setting. I will be sharing more details about this in the weeks to come. So much love to you. I am wishing you a wonderful holiday, and I will talk. Just a minute, love. And the child beckons me, so I am wishing you all a lovely rest of your day. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, find me on Instagram. I thank you all so much for being here, and have a beautiful day.